Elite RE, we're in Texas. Well, everybody, we're back. Shut up, Elite RE. Speak when spoken to. That was like the Terminator song. Everybody, Elite RE said that he's only got 40 minutes to do his review.
Oh my god. True, this will be our first like sub 50-minute thing a long time.
Elite RE, can you hear me? This is my great bit, Elite RE. Because I'm running it around the pond. I will throw up if I keep doing this. Keeping that part in. Elite RE, what I was going to do is I was going to start counting from 1 and see how long it would take you to stop me and interrupt. Where do you think I would have gotten up to? Like 20? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, I remember this.
Oh, it took him until 9, Elite RE. You can butt in any time, Elite RE, you fucking idiot. You gonna let me do that forever? Well, everybody, we're back and we're sushi. Isn't that crazy, Elite RE?
We are sushi, and you can see us if you look where our lights are lighting up. That's us.
Chainsaw Man being good lasted for 1 week. Now it fucking sucks again. What the fuck is this?
This was a wonderful chapter, and you got me so excited.
My name's Elite RE.
What is it?
There's nothing in this fucking dumb statue. That was you last week, Elite RE. You're a moron.
I was wrong, but I wasn't dumb, okay? Yep.
Oh, say, can you see? Go ahead.
I don't know the wait, I need to repeat.
Elite RE, let me set the scene for you. You ready? You ready?
Yep, go ahead.
You're in a classroom. Not just that, Elite RE.
That's right.
It starts raining. Not just that, Elite RE. An old character shows up. And it's still not this dumb whore, Elite RE. Oh, yeah! I love this guy I don't know the name of. Ah, Elite RE, she's dead!
Jesus Christ. Is that the start?
That's the intro, you idiot. Elite RE, is fucking dead!
Who, Yoshida? Is that what you said?
Elite RE, Moriel is fucking dead!
I know, it's so sad. Oh my goodness.
Elite RE, that fucking tree is alive! Elite RE, Night is fucking alive! It's true.
We don't know. I think she's still dead.
Tell me that's being picked up, Elite RE.
Yeah, it is. Why? What's happening?
You know why it's such a sad occasion this evening?
Oh, is it because... Oh, wait, go ahead. Yeah, why?
Wait, no, I think you got it.
Because Katana Man is locked up in prison?
No, you idiot, because Manga C is fucking dead!
Oh.
Elite RE, Isa got stabbed in the fucking head! Right?
Yeah, she's dead. It's crazy.
Oh my goodness. Now I don't want to say she was dead, Elite RE, that would be too generic, and she's obviously not dead, but she did get stabbed in the fucking head. Elite RE, Femi is fucking dead!
Okay, that's funny.
And I bet everybody... Oh my god, imagine if we checked the Chainsaw Man subreddit. How come we don't do that? Fraud in Miko, stocks down, Naita stocks up. Life is good in the church.
That's funny. So yeah, these are all my type of people, right?
Yeah, it's like Destiny and stocks. Elite RE loves it.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a very good one. Stop
That's
laughing.
good, I like that.
Kill yourself. Oh my god, these fucking morons in their shitty character development, Elite RE. They should all kill themselves, right?
Absolutely not. I don't condone that.
I'm trying to minimize this, Elite RE. Why isn't it working? How many times do I got to click? Oh, now it's...
We're less than $100.
How fast do you think I can do it?
Not very, and it seems I'm accurate here.
What? This is fast as fuck. And take it chapter by chapter. There's no way they're this mad about this fucking Lotus retard, dude. Highly disappointed in this chapter. How Fuji just showed us hell for no reason. It was a funny gag. Elite RE. Chainsaw Man has come to an end!
Well, not yet, right? But he's getting there.
We got 1 chapter left and then it's done forever. Elite RE. For the very last time, forever and always, forever and evermore, Chainsaw Man has come to an end!
Wow, thank you. That's lovely.
Oh my goodness, do you love my little edited video, Elite RE?
Yeah, well done. I can't believe you put something together like that. Who knew you could edit videos?
Wow. I did in like the last 4 hours, Elite RE. It was pretty cool, but it's all I did.
Yep.
Finding those great clips. You know, what a trip down memory lane. Are you crying right now, Elite RE?
Yeah, it took me back to like 5 years ago when this manga started. Oh my goodness, it's been going for so long.
Well, excuse me, Chainsaw Man started 7 years ago in 2019, in fact.
Yes.
But Elite RE, we are live here this evening. If the people are watching this in the future, they might not understand this. But right now, Trip is in chat. I saw some other people jumping in chat. We've got 7 live viewers, and I even forgot to tweet about it, Elite RE. So when you would do your little preamble, I'm going to do that in the background. Can you believe that? To get the people really in here. Now, I am on top chat, Elite RE, and we want to go to live chat in case the Great Miller the Killer shows up. But anyway, Elite RE, oh my goodness, do we just start talking about Chainsaw Man chapter? What is it again?
Chapter 232. Thank you, Chainsaw Man.
I was so invested in this great chapter, I didn't even notice if Amanda and Sabrina were back. Were they?
They were. Actually, yeah,
I don't
they were.
see
they
them.
Were, yeah. No, they're there. Don't worry. They're 100% there.
Where?
On the 2nd page. Or the 3rd page, I guess.
The 3rd page. Oh, yeah, there they are. Amanda, Haley, Sabrina, Tatsumi, Fujimoto, Elite RE. Thank you, Chainsaw Man!
Yes, it is.
Elite RE, I was fucking right, admit it.
About what? Oh, the fact
James,
that there's no part 3?
no part 3. This is the greatest ending of all time.
I guess, are we going to talk about it? Firstly, it is kind of crazy that there is no part 3. I was completely on the camp that there is no question.
We argued about it this very day, in fact.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is pretty crazy. I made a poll about it. Most people agreed with me on Twitter that yes, there is going to be a part 3.
I did not agree.
Now, you know what is possible? It is possible you like go to Reddit later and there's like an announcement. It's like part 3 is coming in like a year from now.
That is true.
Actually, it's not the
thing at the end just said end, which I am taking as confirmation for myself. Also, the fact that we did chapter 1 again, which I said last week, is pretty big indication that we might indeed be ending. Also, as far as, again, we are streaming, like, the chapter came out 44 minutes ago, so maybe there's a tweet. Maybe chat can keep us up to date if there's any tweets from any editors, Elitary, announcing any important things, any important details. But we'll see, you know, Elitary. We don't know how long this discussion will drag on for. Oh my god, why am I not hearing Elitary right now? This is crazy. I see we got 9 viewers. So, you know, this can't be my fault, everybody. The stream is still streaming, I just can't hear him. Oh my god. We are at 500 ms. That's not good. Oh my god, Discord's crashing. But sometimes the internet still works when this happens, everybody. So, you know, as long as I'm here, that's all that matters. Oh, the internet is still working. It's just Discord. This is great. We just get to continue talking, and that bitch-ass Elitary isn't here. It is terrific. This is my final bit here in our final Chainsaw Man chapter review. I'm just trying to tweet here and tell the people that we're live, and stupid-ass Elitary can't even figure out his goddamn Discord. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's on his end. Now, I'm relaunching Discord, everybody. I'm just blustering. I don't actually want Elitary to be gone forever. But, you know, sometimes things in life don't work out the exact ways you wanted. Now, why did it start this when we started? We were in the call for like 10 minutes previously. Elitary was making our great thumbnail. And this bitch-ass idiot, Discord couldn't crash then? Unfrickin' believable. Now, the real question is, am I going to keep this in when I have to edit this video and upload it to YouTube? Which I'm just realizing I'm going to have to wait. Because, you know, I was just checking that I actually was still live. Discord is checking for updates. Fucking Discord sucks. In the meantime, I'm going to try and keep the tweets going. You know, you just got to click on things and you just got to tweet out to the people. You want them to all come in right now when we're at the peak of our powers. Now, we got to go, what the fuck is this fucking thingy called? We got to place this over here. You got to do this. You got to do a little thingy here. We got to... The next thing I usually do is post in the Discord server, but it's still checking for updates. We love this. And my tweet is taking a while to go through. This isn't a good sign. Now, let me just switch my little internet thingy, because sometimes that works and saves the day. So, hopefully the stream just skips a little tiny bit of a beat here. I've been demoted to a viewer. This is terrific. This is everything I ever wanted. Ending so good, Ari is speechless. True, I can get all my propaganda out. He can't do nothing. Now, the tweet went through. This is good. Discord should start back up. Here we go. You got to switch your internets is what you got to do when this type of things happens. We've hit a record 10 viewership, and Elitary gets none of it. My goodness. If Super Chats were enabled on this channel right now, I'd be swimming in money. Ah, look who decided to come back.
You, right? You left and
No. You left. Oh my god, we went into the green on the Discord server, Elitary. That's great.
Wonderful.
Thank god we actually hadn't started yet, huh?
Yeah, true.
Don't worry.
Let's start then.
Make sure you like and retweet my tweet, Elitary. That's very important.
True.
Oh my god, hold on. The things aren't popping up on the thingy, I think. Yes, I got to refresh our reactive images, Elitary. This is very important. Oh my god, no, they're back. Terrific. So, Elitary, we were just basking in my correctness, and we didn't even give any opinions on any chapters yet.
True, but yeah, part 3 is not happening as far as we know, and it's kind of crazy. So, yep.
And that's why Elitary hates this chapter.
It was an interesting read, I have to say that. It was, like, half I was kind of expecting it. Like, I think if we go back to our last review, half of this is exactly what I was saying, actually. Half of it is also kind of what you were saying as well.
What did I say? I don't remember.
And it is, well, just the fact that it would be, like, him in the cabin or whatever, and then he'd go to us or whatever. Like, all this stuff, I think, happened. And then I was talking more about how, like, oh, we'll see Power, and it'll be, like, a whole, like, it'll be, like, a retelling of the part 1 stuff in terms of, like, because we'll travel back in time or whatever. In the time
it was pretty crazy when Power showed up, Elitary, I will say.
Yeah. But then, it didn't go exactly as I expected. But are we just gonna say what we think about it? Can we talk about it finally? My goodness.
We just preamble for 10 minutes because your internet sucks.
True. I mean, I can say do you want me to start?
Yeah, you should go first, because then I get to reassess what I think in comparison.
There is one thing to say, which is that, to me, Chainsaw Man could have ended at many points in this final arc. I think the most recent, there's been a few. There's been the chapter where Asa is having her backstory with her dad, and then it ends with Denji and Asa both kind of laughing about the fact that they both killed their parents, and they're like, and then you also have the panel at the end of that where it's like Yoru and Pochita are also laughing at, not laughing, but they're also having a good time, basically. That could have been a good ending for Chainsaw Man. You could have had the ending with the whole, remember that chapter with Yoru having that monologue about your sins are nothing in the devil's eyes or whatever. You could have ended there. So basically what I'm trying to say is that I don't need a really satisfying ending for Chainsaw Man to be over now. For me to feel like, oh man, this is it.
Oh my god, Alita, he's coping right now. While. This is all build up to say he doesn't like the ending, but he still likes the ending.
Well, I have to say, I do like this ending a lot. It is really good, actually. And I do have some things that it made me think about things, and I wasn't expecting that. I was what I was actually expecting from this chapter was for it to be a 10-second read, and for me to be like, man, I wish there was kind of a bit more, but that's good enough.
It was 32 pages.
To think about. That doesn't sound typical. But yeah, there was a lot to think about, which I'm glad about. So I liked it for that. So good ending. I would say probably a really good ending, and potentially the best ending you could probably have for such a strange story, I think. But yeah,
it doesn't really matter what we think, Alita, because Aaron Yeager is in the chat and did type peak, so that's pretty impressive. Now, If you get that seal of approval, Aaron Yeager himself had a pretty peak ending, if I do say so myself, Alita. Remember when he cried over Mikasa?
That's right. I'm sure there'll be a lot of memes about that in the Reddit.
Spoilers for Attack on Titan, Alita.
True.
This is our sequel to Attack on Titan, you see. This is our next big manga ending. It's sad, But Alita, I don't even think I've even thought about if this chapter was good. All I was celebrating was the fact that I was right. So, now I have to actually think about things. And I think it was a pretty fun time. It's a bit of a weird ending. It's interesting, because it's the part 2 stuff doesn't really have a resolution in the sense of the plot, which I wonder how that will feel on a reread. What'd you say?
I think it does. I think it depends what you mean by plot.
Well, the bugs are still around. We didn't do anything about the bugs, Alita.
Well, they got erased, but because Pochita erased himself, they don't.
Yeah, but he erased himself, so whatever. But that doesn't matter. I don't
ending.
I don't care about this, Alita. You don't fight me like I give a fuck about this.
All right.
I like it. Okay. Yeah. Am I allowed to say that, Alita? Will you allow me?
Yes, you're allowed to like the final chapter. Thank you.
I think it was pretty good. I like the little backtracking through. I always like this stuff where we going back through and stuff. There was some interesting twists. I guess we should comment to them all periodically as we go through. Because, Nayata is there, so she's still alive, so I was right on that too. And then Asa was there. Could you believe it? Power was walking, and then there was a soccer game, and you were freaking out, Alita. You don't lie.
I did get emotional at one part, and it was definitely when I saw Bucky. I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh my god, Bucky didn't die. I thought he was still going to die, and it was going to be funny, but he just landed on his tuchus.
So did I, actually.
He just landed on his tuchus, Alita. He was fine. Don't worry about it. Bucky is not freaking dead. We don't have to go through all that. Just Chainsaw Man. I think maybe in this overall section will be funny. Do you think everybody's very mad?
I think the fact that Power is in this will mean that there's going to be two groups of people. There's going to be one group of people who are like, oh my god, I'm so glad Power's here. I'm so happy. And then there's going to be a whole nother group of people who are going to be the middle of the killers, who are going to be like, isn't Chainsaw Man Part 3 so bad? Because it's going back to the Part 1 characters, man. Isn't that bad? There's going to be those two groups.
True. None of these
but I feel like
stick.
I still feel like, and I feel this very strongly, it is, I have said this many times in the past, I understand bad endings. I understand why people don't like the ending of JJK. I understand why people don't like the ending of Attack on Titan. My Hero is a bit different. It's a bit tougher to understand, but I can at least somewhat understand it. This one, I cannot, this is a good ending. Chainsaw Man Part 2 has been consistently good from beginning to end. And I think in history, when people look back on it,
listen to the propaganda.
It is propaganda, but I have to start now because the voices will be out there saying things, and I need to be the one to.
You've already been defeated, Alita. What happened to Agni?
I could not tell you. Oh, you mean
Good
the Fire
point.
Devil? They had
Mhm.
their little piece. They gave Denji the moral conundrum, and then it got resolved, and here we are.
What a waste of a great character, that's what we're all going to say.
True.
Oh my god, Trip is hinting at us. He says, "You're not ready for the Reddit." Oh my goodness, Elitari, can't you just not wait? What great anticipation we have. But I think, Elitari, for our final time here, it's time for our patented, what do you call it, design, our patented plan, our patented routine, where we go through the great chapter. And we will read every line with great passion. Now, Elitari, when you saw Thank You, Chainsaw Man, you knew. Kyle Entertainment was right.
No, you know what? I wasn't sure until right into the last page. Until I saw the words "the end," I was like, "There's a chance it could still say like part 3, or it could say."
Well,
like,
there's still a chance, Elitari. We haven't checked Twitter yet, but I'll take the win while I can take it, Elitari. Because in the future, I mightn't be able to take it anymore. This idiot better not do any more one-shots. They all suck, Elitari. I want a new series, and I want it in about a year.
The impressive thing is that his one-shot, at least for Goodbye Eri, is better than Chainsaw Man, and I love Chainsaw Man. It's my favorite manga, so I hope he does more one-shots.
They suck. They're no good. Oh, those ones are pretty cool, Elitari, but not Goodbye Eri. That one is lame. And Look Back's lamer because they made it into a movie and everybody pretended to like it. But anyway, Elitari, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this shack that's in the woods.
True. Denji has a shack. And he's coughing blood and he's looking at his hand like...
Well, you let me get to it, Elitari. Quit jumping ahead.
Go ahead.
Can you believe it? He's coughing up blood again, Elitari. We said that this might happen last time with a little bit of a joke.
Yeah, true.
But don't worry, we fixed it. I think Power giving him blood fixed it later, so it's okay. But it's raining again, Elitari. We're back in the first chapter, of course, because this is the last chapter, and it's like a circle. And Denji says, "Feel like I had a good and a bad dream." Oh my goodness, he kind of remembers things, Elitari.
True, yep.
And we'll get some more of that later. And can you believe that Pachita wasn't the Chainsaw Devil? Oh, we'll get to it later, Elitari. And then Amanda and Sabrina for the very last time, Elitari. By the time he makes a new thing, they might both be retired.
Yeah, true. It is sad. I wonder they should start give their opinions on Chainsaw Man. That'd be fun.
True. In my head, they're both 29, Elitari, but they could be old women. We don't know.
True, yeah.
Now, Denji through a window here, Elitari. Oh, I couldn't believe that the gangsters were back and we were going to fight the zombie devil, Elitari, again, but we are. And Denji says, "Wish I'd only have good dreams, like eating with a girl and playing video games." He loves those things, Elitari. I want a pet dog.
Well, which, interestingly, is what happens at the end of this chapter, right? They're all talking about eating at the end of this with the girl.
Yes, and Nayata's playing video games. Denji's getting everything he wants. The fact that it's a very happy ending, Elitari, just proves my point that if you were ever sad about anything during Chainsaw Man, you're a big pussy. But anyway, we'll get to that later.
I did not interpret this as a happy ending. Interesting.
It's the happiest ending I've ever seen in my life. Literally everybody got a happy ending. If you think Power's death was real, you're a fucking idiot. I'm right about the Nayata not dying, but if you think now if you retroactively cried for Power, you're a big pussy idiot. But anyway, we'll get to it later, Leary.
I think firstly, there's a distinction to be made, I think. I think what I take away from this chapter is more so a very interesting thematic resolution to Chainsaw Man. I think all the character stuff was probably resolved, like in that final arc, like stuff before this. To me, there's nothing really character-wise here. Maybe a little bit for Denji, but like not really. I think to me this is a big thematic read, and I think it's a very I'd say probably it's quite neutral of a position, whether it's good or bad. But also I'd probably say it slightly leans more negative, like ooh, this is a bit sad.
There's not 1 ounce of negativity in here, but also.
Okay.
I haven't thought about themes once, so we can talk about it at the end. Elitari, Denji wants to pet a dog too. He had a dog, that's crazy, but now he doesn't. And there's a door that opens and something. Doors are important. And then they're in that car, and then, actually it's a knock on the door, and then Denji opens it. And then he's in the car, he's going to the zombie devil. The zombie devil's back. What we want is the devil's power. Power, Elitari. And what I want is death of all devil hunters. My goodness. And then Denji goes, "Gwa!" because he got stabbed, Elitari. And then he's bleeding out on the ground. And just like in chapter 1, he's thinking back to all the things he didn't do before he's about to die. He says, "Oh man, am I really gonna kick the bucket before even one good thing could happen to me? That's just my luck though." And then the great power is here, Illyri. She cuts off a zombie's head. It's a naked woman, Denji says. At least I got to have one last good dream. True, naked ladies are the best dreams. And then Power's doing the thing that Chainsaw Man did in the first chapter, Illyri. This is how it looked. And she says, "Gah! Blood, 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 blood." And she says, give it back, 'tis mine." Just the blood? Is blood just hers?
Yeah. I think she likes blood, right?
And it goes in
like
front of
the
the
whole thing.
moon there. You see in that panel with the blood on the moon?
Yep.
Asa has a thing on the moon. But Power was here, Illyri. Were you freaking the frickin' hell out?
I liked it. I wouldn't say I was freaking out or anything, as much as I'm sure some people would be. But I was like, oh, I really like this as like an idea.
This is when I realized, oh my god, they're all coming back. Actually, Aki's not in this fucking chapter at all. I didn't even think about that, but that's stupendous. Oh,
well, no one's in this chapter.
What?
No part 1 character, except for the only one is Power. No one else comes back from part 1. Like, there's I guess the no-name characters like this.
True, that dumb bitch Makima's not here, even though you're about to think she is. Oh, we don't care about Aki, Illyri. You fucking suck. Self-admitted by the author. This is tremendous. I literally didn't think about that until this very moment. Were you thinking, where's Aki while you were reading this chapter?
Yeah, of course. I was waiting for him to show up. I was like, oh, I guess they're doing a whole thing where like everyone is going to show up. Now, I don't think this has anything to do with what you're saying.
He sucks!
Because like the point is that like he was motivated to become a devil hunter because of the gun devil's attack. The implication would be that like because Chainsaw Man doesn't exist, maybe there was no gun devil attack, right? It's interesting. It's an interesting implication. It also fills in the lore of like maybe Chainsaw Man was involved in that gun devil's like first like attack, right?
You know what the implication really is? He's not important, and if you liked him, you're a loser.
Yeah, maybe.
Now, Illyri, we should keep up with our chat sometimes. This is very important. You know, you're a novice streamer. But Heath showed up and was doing a thinking emoji, Illyri, not giving an opinion, my goodness. Firecat, that's a new name in chat, I believe, Illyri says, "Hi, just arrived. Is Chainsaw Man actually ending, or is it just the end of part 2? Do you really want to know if you haven't read the chapter, or did you already read the chapter?" Firecat later says, "Well, shit." Well, the answer to that question is, it seems to be the end, because there is no hint at a part 3 at the end, and it just says the end. So, there we go. Trip says, full end, it seems. Oh my god, answering the question. I'm a loser then. If you care about Aki, you're a big loser. Tell me. Don't worry, we told you. Where are we up to, Illyri? We're just talking about Power. Power was here and Aki wasn't.
Power just showed up, yeah.
That's terrific. And then the zombie devil's dead again, and Power's lounging on it like she lounged on that bear when she killed that bear that one time and looked down at Meowie.
Yeah, there are also parallels going on here, right? With the beginning of part 2, with Yoru and showing up and then saving Asa from this and having a similar kind of contract and a similar pose.
Always
in
thinking
terms
about
of, like,
Asa, this
exploding
guy.
all the devils and then sitting on top of the corpse of the devils. And it is very clearly both a reference to the first chapter of Chainsaw Man and the first chapter of part 2.
And that Power chapter.
Cool. Well, yeah, there is. I completely didn't even mention this at all, but there were a lot of people who were like, "That." There was the whole untied loose end of like he said he was going to go meet the Blood Devil one day.
No, I'm just talking about the visual reference in the Power flashback where she meets Meowie and she's on top of a bear or something like this.
Maybe a little bit.
I'm actually asking you if that really happened, Illyri, but I'm doing it in accusatory fashion because that's just my style. But I'm pretty sure that happened.
She kills like a cow or something. Yeah.
Yes, she kills a bunch of things. Now, what if that was an anime image, Illyri, and I have just betrayed all my principles?
Yep.
Being fooled by a motion cartoon. Power says, when we're at this point, I'm like, why would Power help Denji? But don't worry, Illyri, I melted away. This human smells like a dog. I like dogs. She doesn't like dogs. God, everything's different in this timeline.
She just said it.
My goodness. This is a contract. I'll give you life in exchange. You're mine until you die.
Yep.
This is interesting. Again, I haven't thought about a single thematic thing. But it's like it's playful, obviously. It's Power, so we like her and we trust her and we know that Denji will be fine. It's not like evil Makima or Illyri. But also, like, the set dressing of this is not with Denji having autonomy or whatever. So maybe there's something to say thematically there. My goodness, we could revisit this, I guess. And then a chain comes in and whips Power. That's not what their chains do. They go on their head or something, Illyri. What's up? But then, oh my god, remember Makima? She entered just like this. This is crazy. Makima's here. Oops. Thought you were the zombie devil. That doesn't really sound like something Makima would say, but I fell for it in the moment, Illyri. And then Denji and Power were putting up their dukes, Illyri. This is just like Chainsaw Man Part 1. Oh, Elitari doesn't like Chainsaw Man Part 1.
I love Chainsaw Paul. I don't know what you want from me.
You're supposed to say, yeah, that's
know.
cool. We love Chainsaw Man Part 1 when they're fighting
yeah.
Fuchsia Bay. You beat those guys, you could be useful. From now on, you two belong to me. And again, why would Makima want shitty Denji? He's just a human right now. But my goodness, you flipped the page and it was frickin' Nayata, Elitari. Now, I flipped the page here like in Viz Media because I wasn't reading on Manga because it took 25 fucking minutes for the thing to come out over there. But I didn't like read it in order, so I saw the flash and then I saw Nayata over here. And then I was confused. I'm like, how come Makima isn't here? But even then, I didn't think that she was like the Makima reveal. I thought we'd cut to a different scene. So that was funny, but then I actually read it earlier.
See, I knew immediately because I have reading comprehension. I saw the black hair, and I thought, oh wow, Naita has black hair, and that would make sense. So
no, it was just in shadow, obviously.
Uh-huh.
You're stupid. So he just obscured the face and then did a big reveal panel, but you're actually supposed to get it back here. Yeah, right, Elitari. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Belong to you? I think not. Humans really are idiotic, says the great power. Human, behold my battle prowess. I'm power, the blood. No, I remember what I thought now. I thought the implication was that she killed Makima and Nayata showed up. But then I read it properly, Elitari. That's what I'm going with right now. That's what happened.
Okay.
I'm power, the blood devil. My power is said to be equal to that of a god. Take this. But then she got subdued, Elitari. Isn't that upsetting?
Not really. No, it's funny.
With one bang.
Yep.
How could she bang if the gun devil doesn't exist? Fucking idiot, Elitari. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Why would it not exist? Did I ever say that?
Yeah, you said the gun devil doesn't exist, so Aki wasn't a bad guy.
That is definitely not true. I said the gun devil attack never happened.
Now the story changes, chat. Don't worry. The chat's keeping score, Elitari. But oh my goodness, the dogs are here already, Elitari, and they're not raping, and they're not around because Power didn't just die.
Yep, true.
Everything that Denji loves is coming back to him in this great, entirely happy ending. It's tremendous. My goodness, Elitari, we're not even halfway through this chapter. This one's a doozy. A devil at school? Oh, yeah, there's a devil at the school, Elitari. Yep, I'm busy. You two go kill it by yourselves. Sigh, so busy, she says. Remember, Makima used to be busy? And oh my god, Meowie's on her shoulder, but she's not actually busy this time, Elitari. She's playing Game Boy.
Well, that is being busy, yeah.
Because it's the 90s.
Maybe.
Game Boy. It could be a Game Boy Color, perhaps. And then Denji says, video games, lucky. Implying that at a future point, Denji might be allowed to play video games, that he's getting everything he wants in this great happy ending. Power is upset about Meowie's... Meowie remembers too, Elitari.
I doubt it. He died.
And I've just looked down at my chat. Meowie didn't die, by the way. And Trip is saying, Ari is right. Fact checked. I don't like that type of comments in my section, Elitari. Firecat is saying shit no Aki. Whoever Firecat is did not read this chapter and is finding out right now, Leary, so this is pretty epic. Gonna write easy revenge on a cigarette and smoke one out for bro. That's upsetting, Leary. Leary, you love smoking.
I don't like smoking.
CeeLo Builder showed up and says, just read the chapter, it's over, I'm gonna cry. My goodness, CeeLo Builder. Wait until you rewatch the great video I edited at the beginning, and then you're really gonna cry. How do I gift 18 subs? I don't think you can gift anything on this account because it's not monetized yet, so that's upsetting. So part 3 starting next week, right? Now that was a funny option, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And then Firecat is informing our new friend. My goodness, Leary. But true, we're going to think Maui remembers Leary.
This is, I don't know. I don't know why you're thinking this, no.
Well, everybody's remembering things throughout the chapter, Leary. So Meowie remembers.
What are you talking about? Denji remembers things. Who else remembers things?
Meowie!
What does he remember?
That he likes Nayata.
Maybe he just likes Nayata. Cats like people sometimes.
Nope. Meowie shouldn't love, and everybody tell Leary that obviously this is a hint that the great Meowie, the animals always know Leary. Didn't you watch Game of Thrones? You fucking idiot. Anyway, Meowie shouldn't love anyone but me. That girl has to be the control devil or something. That's pretty funny, Leary.
Yep.
Must be no confirmation that she is. Well, she did hit him with a whip. Maybe she's the whip devil. You never know. Must be nice to have a happy-go-lucky brain like yours. True, we were talking about brains last time, Leary. I'm not happy, says the great power. That girl gets to keep Meowie and a bunch of dogs. My only pet is you, and you aren't even cute. True.
Yep.
Oh, and Denji wears an eye patch now, Leary, because he never got healed. And oh my goodness, he only has one ball.
Yep.
How am him and us are going to have all the children? Oh my goodness, Elitery.
Then
Powie
what? That's the
weapon.
point.
No, he is getting. You only need one ball, Elitery. Now, Powie weapon. Because there's a. What is this, Elitery? This the lobster devil?
This is obviously the crab devil.
What's the difference?
I mean, one is a lobster and one is a crab. They're just
This one's a lobster.
What do you mean? This one is a crab. I have eaten crabs before. It looks exactly
Sound off
like
in the comments, everybody. Tell Leary it's a lobster. What do you want to kill with today? I used an axe the other day, so give me a chainsaw. Chainsaw, Leary.
It is pretty great. I like this moment.
Do you think the greats... Also, I said that he was going to be cutting down wood, and that's why people were going to call him Chainsaw Man last time, but it was actually a different thing. And then he does the great Aki speech, Leary. Aki was really here. He says, the devils have been exterminated. This area is safe now. Please don't touch the blood or the body, please.
Yep.
That's what he said in that movie. And oh my goodness, over his shoulder, there is a soccer game being played, just like in the part 2, I mean. And oh my God, they're all playing soccer, but Asa's not there.
Now, the real question is the dead man, is that Mr. Tanaka? the guy
oh my goodness.
Or is that someone else? I can't tell.
I hope it's that no good pedophile leadery.
You know what I think it is? It kind of looks a lot like him.
You got to do the face confirmation. See, it's the happiest ending of all time, Elitery. All the problems have been solved. Anyway.
That's right.
We'll get Elitery somehow explanation about how this is a sad ending when we get to the end.
I didn't say that.
Denji's, you said it was tragic. Denji is looking over at Asa, as we'll find out. Wish I could have gone to school too. No, you don't. You don't want to go to school, Denji. And then we're in the moment where Bucky is jumping into Asa's arms, Elitery.
Yep.
And she's cuddling him, and oh my goodness, this is when everything was going to go right. She doesn't trip over anymore. Actually, she is about to trip, I think. But you know, when you trip, Elitery, you need a partner in life to pick you up. That's the theme. Write it down. Hey, Power, isn't that a devil too? True, Denji's going to kill that no-good Bucky. Oh, did you think he was going to kill it at all, Elitery? Do you think there was going to be some problems in the last 10 pages?
I don't know what to expect with Chainsaw Man, okay? When I was reading this, I was like, oh, I guess, like, maybe he's going to, like, whatever it is, it'll be an important moment where it's going to decide whether Asa is going to continue down the same path or go down a different path. That's what I thought. That's what I read this moment as.
I did think for a second, oh my goodness, what if there's great conflict here if he kills the great Bucky, because there's some tragedy, and then people were right. Chainsaw Man is a sad story. But no, it's the happiest story of all time. He calls Power a turd, Elitery.
Yep.
And she's licking the blood. She says, "Tis blood." And then Denji has to run over by himself and says, "Damn it." And then we get, like, the tracking shots of them running and stuff. They're, like, running to each other. It's a rom-com, Elitery. And then she trips. And then, oh, my God, she trips. And, oh, my God, left in the wake, in the shadow, on the ground over there is the chainsaw, Elitery, which allows him to grab Asa and save the day. With our great image that's on screen now, Elitery, you just got to leave the chainsaws with the problem.
Yeah, I don't have any reading as to what that you're saying at all, whatsoever. For me, when I was reading this, I was like, man, like, this is the bit where I'm like, oh, I'm tearing up. Oh my goodness, like,
this is the only possible thematic bit, Elitery. So you better have a good explanation later.
Oh, I don't have. Well, yeah, we get into it. We'll go through the whole chapter. And I'll tell you what I think.
But also, Bucky could still be dying right now, Elitery. We don't know he's safe yet.
Bucky is so weak that his death is inevitable. He will die one day by accident.
No,
somewhat soon.
Of course, he's not going to.
It doesn't matter. What matters is the guilt that Asa feels over killing Bucky, right? Like,
no, what matters is the great Bucky's death.
It is Asa's entire, like, theme, the main theme of her character was guilt, and it was the climax of her arc where Yoru comes up to her and says, like, you know, the guilt you have is like nothing in a devil's eyes. It is a whole point. And here, the fact that she doesn't kill Bucky means that she has less guilt, you know? So it is a good thing for her. I'm very happy for her.
Bucky is way cooler than Asa and her shitty guilt bullshit.
It's just not true.
Look at his bow tie, Elitery. You don't like the bow tie?
I like Bucky. I don't know why you're.
He's running around with a chicken like his head's cut off or something. What's that saying, Elitery? It's funny.
I like all the Chainsaw Man characters.
But don't worry, Elitery. On the next page, Asa and Denji are blushing at each other. Denji says, "My bad," and Bucky is flat on his tuchus.
Yep.
Now, Elitery, I just look down and I saw 18 views on my stream, Elitery. Pretty cool.
Okay, let's keep going before we get this.
But there's lots of comments.
Well, we'll get to them. We're almost done.
Oh, my goodness, Elitery. Everybody just remember who didn't want to listen to the great viewership here right now is shitty Elitery. Thank you, Chainsaw Man! And then his heart pumps because Puchita's alive too, Elitery. This is the greatest ending of all time.
Well, yeah, it's well, I mean, it's a symbolic thing, right? Of him remembering,
Yes,
like
Elitery.
partially remembering, partially feeling. You know, I understand what you're saying. There are a lot of people here probably have no idea what you're saying, okay? And you are saying lies right now because you think it's funny, but it is true, and this is completely symbolic.
People understand the great wit and sarcasm that comes from my mouth, Elitery. But yes,
all right, maybe
Chainsaw Man's not literally alive, but he's spiritually alive, and that's all that matters, Elitery.
true.
Because this is just a physical realm, and what's important is that other realm. What do you think the Darkness Devil is doing right now, Elitery?
Probably, we don't know. He's chilling. That's what he's doing.
Upset. He doesn't exist just like the Gun Devil. Chainsaw Man? ? Because you were fighting with a chainsaw. True. Oh yeah, he says.
This is very cute. We haven't talked about it enough. I thought this was super cute.
Well, I also think it's cute, but hearing you say it's cute makes me want to attack it, Elitery. So how about you keep your opinions to yourself? And oh my goodness, we get 2 shots of them just looking at each other because they're in love, Elitery. And Asa says, bye then. And then Denji says, hey, that devil. Silly Denji. Get your mind in the game, you idiot. I'm hungry. I want food. Food, says the great power. My heart like thumped for a second there. And oh my god, is it because he's in love with Asa or because of the great Puchita's alive spirit, Elitery? And then Power says, oh, you have heart thump disease. Oh, Elitery thinks this is a hilarious joke.
This is great. I love this. This was very funny.
I know about it because I have medical knowledge. Treat me to a meal and I'll cure it for you. She can. She's got blood and stuff.
Yep.
And then we see Asa gets to play the soccer game, and Bucky is flapping in the wind, Elitery, just being so happy. If that ball hits him, he will die, though, but that's not going to happen, Elitery. And then we get that shot of Denji with the eye patch, just so happy with his great life and this great happy ending that was in our great thumbnail, Elitery. And then we have the final page of all of Chainsaw Man, presumably. We're having fried chicken, right? And egg rolls, right? And fried rice ramen and pot stickers. And ice cream on the way home. I'm broke. Let's go shake down our seniors, Elitery.
Wow.
Kishibe exists. This is great. He came back in part 2.
Or our seniors like Aki and Himeno. Maybe.
Stupid Aki. Himeno can come back, though. I like Himeno.
Yep.
So, Elitery, should you give your thematic spiel before we go back to our great audience?
So, firstly, it hasn't been very long. So, this is just what I thought of immediately. I'm curious in a reread what I would think. But what I take away from this is that the message of at least this final chapter, and probably like more so Chainsaw Man as a whole, if you read this as like the conclusion to Chainsaw Man, is that you always want, like, this is something, firstly, it's very simple, which is that you always want something. Like, basically there is no such thing as a good life. And like, whenever you have something, you want something else. This is something that's been like established pretty much consistently throughout.
Yeah, and this guy's
like,
YouTube video was pretty great. It was like 50 minutes.
Yeah, like whenever Denji gets to a new normal, he kind of wants a new kind of goal, right? He always constantly just wants something else. He dreams for something else. Like, you know, he lives a normal life, and then all his family dies, and he's happy because he gets to be Chainsaw Man, right? So what I feel from this chapter is that it's like it's a message of like live in the moment, where it's like you get good feelings from momentary things, like stopping a girl from falling over, you know, like meeting this girl for a second and like helping her out a bit, and then like going your own separate way. Like it's small things like this where it's like there is no like, eventually Denji is most likely, in my reading of this, from everything that's happened in Chainsaw Man and up until this point, like what's happening now, he is still Chainsaw Man. Like, he has the chainsaw, he is still the same thing symbolically or whatever. I think what's going to happen is Denji is probably going to want something else now. Like, he's going to be happy for now, but he's going to want something else later. But the point is that, like, it doesn't really matter what he wants. It doesn't matter if he achieves it. What really matters is, like, living in the moment and having moments like this. Serendipitous moments of
it's
interacting
about the
with a woman,
journey,
like
not the destination.
kind of,
Which is what Denji says in that Makima scene.
Yeah, what Makima scene?
When he says, when he's complaining about how he touched boobs and it wasn't cool, he says, am I going to get another goal and it's just going to be, I just going to find the destination, the journey better than the destination? He doesn't actually say those words, but he says synonyms.
Yeah. There's more to this, though, that I want to say, which is that I think there's also an added element of the fact that we're, like, retreading territory, where we're very clearly retelling a story that's happened, right? Both at the beginning of part 2 and the beginning of part 1. I think the point that's happening here is kind of I don't know if you would read it as depressive or more neutral, but it's like, no matter what happens in life, things are the way they are. You can rewrite them all you want, but the present life is your present life. Like you'll always like no matter what happens in life, it just is your life. There's like you won't like there's nothing you can do about it. You just live your life. There's no like, oh, I want to like if I erase Chainsaw Man, maybe I'll have a different life. No, you just end up with the same life. Your present is always just your present. And I think that's kind of an interesting resolution to like Chainsaw Man. It's like a theme. Like everything in life is either a missed opportunity, or I guess everything in life can be a missed opportunity. Like this interaction with Asa. Like there was a chance. Like my reading of this is that this is the end of Asa. I don't think you'll ever see Asa again.
He's going back tomorrow.
Like the point of having this interaction with Asa at the end is that they're like we're seeing we've seen the path in life he went where he got to have that whole experience with Asa. So that interaction with Asa represents two things. It represents in one situation in the beginning of part 2 a potential for something greater, which is like having an exciting time with Asa, right? Or it represents now a missed opportunity where it's like everything in life is like it's just going to happen no matter what. And there's like so many outcomes in life and things just are the way they are and just live in the moment. And that's just what I took from this. And I think it's really interesting. I wasn't expecting Chainsaw Man to have this message, so I kind of actually like it a lot. And it also ties in with like a bunch of stuff in part 2, like the whole repetition of the devils and how like the high level ideas of like having the eternity devil come back and like even like the final arc, like the parallels between Yoru and Makima and having this like high level kind of consistency with like what happened in part 1 and part 2 and having that be like tying into this theme. You have even the elements of like the ever-changing prophecy that always just ends up the same way regardless, like where initially you think that the Great King of Terror is going to be like the Death Devil, and then you think it's going to be the War Devil, and then you think it's going to be the Locust Devil. Regardless, it all just ends up being the same thing, which is like a prophecy happens in the end. You've got, and then just it also ties in with the whole aspect of Denji and his character, how he returns to normal after tragic events, what we were talking about before. So I think this is a very cohesively like tied in theme that if you read Chainsaw Man as a whole, I think it all comes together, and which is kind of surprising. I wasn't kind of expecting this, or at least this is my reading of it. And there's a lot of obviously I haven't read part 2 in a while, like reread from the beginning, but yeah. And also, I guess the last thing to say about this is that there is the whole element of last chapter where Pochta said, keep dreaming, Denji. Where it's like, the point is to like, keep dreaming and just like, things are going to change. Things can be worse. They can be better, but just live in the moment and keep dreaming. I think that's like probably the message. And it's probably framed as like a good thing from, at least from Pochta's perspective. I don't know. There's a lot to think about, but that's my 2 cents on it for now.
Alita, I have one thing to say. Actually, I have a lot of things to say. But the main thing to say is, I disagree. Oh, yeah.
Interesting. All right.
I think... Which one do I start with? I think, because you keep saying like, oh, and this is true, Denji always wants more or something. But this is a much better world than the one he was living in. And I think that's definitely a choice to end Denji in a world which is much better. Now, he will... Because there's like a... Everybody has this hedonic treadmill idea, I think. Well, I don't know if everybody, but the people who do will have it no matter what. But if they are in like a war-torn, shitty zone, or if they're living in like a first world country or something, even though they have like similar struggles, these are very different worlds and very different lives. And I think we've ended Denji in a world where he will have a much better life. And
I don't know why do you think that?
Because this whole chapter is like putting every possibility for happiness he's ever had in front of him. Power's back. Us is right there if he wants to go and talk to her. And I definitely think the whole point of the Asa scene is that they will be like together soon. I don't think it's like they split off for later. I think that's like the whole point of them blushing and the like. It feels very rom-com. It's kind of like the Steins Gate ending where it's like they like do walk away from each other, but with like. In Steins Gate, it definitely implies that they will be circling back to each other. This, I will say, is less than that, but I still think that's definitely, like, it's that scene. And I've seen it in other things, I guess, and that's what I'm...
Nope, I completely disagree. I don't get
that. Well,
Leary,
this is my time to disagree with you,
All right, continue.
punk.
Yeah, go ahead.
How about you
I haven't disagreed with your first
time?
point yet, though, but go ahead. I still have a big disagreement with that. I don't think this is a happy life for Denji. I think this is the beginning of Chainsaw Man Part 1 and Part 2. In both cases, he was happy. I think it will continue on. If there were more to this, I think his life would return.
He's going to be depressed like I'm depressed, not like Denji's depressed.
Yeah.
So no, incorrect once again.
Like, which of these lives do you think is the best? This one or what he had
definitely
at the beginning
this
of Part
one.
2? Why is it better? Why is it worse?
Because we are left with such a happy feeling at the end. All the possibilities are there. Everything's reset. Everybody's back to life.
I think Denji was... I think the stuff at the beginning of Part 2, when we first meet him, we see Nayata and all that, I think he is very happy.
You think he wouldn't have been happier if Power was there too?
Do you think if we ended Part 2, like, at that point, do you think it would have the same... Like, I feel like it's the same thing. Where it's like, oh, he's happy right now, but he's not going to be happy, and that's the point.
Yeah,
Like,
he's going to be
eventually things
depressed
will
because he's going to get
turn for the
bored with his
worse.
job. He's not going to be depressed because bugs took over the world and Naita got decapitated and Yoshida freaking blew up.
Yeah, but that's completely irrelevant to the theme. The point of the
No,
theme
I
is
don't
that
think
it doesn't
so.
matter
I
if
think
it's
the
like the world
point-
ending or if it's like a character reaching depression. Like, they're the same thing.
No, I
One is
think
symbolic and one is literal.
I think the reason, like, this whole chapter being so happy is like part of that. Is like, obviously, this is the potentiality for happiness this time.
What makes you think that Denji is happy?
That all the opportunities are left to him, and he's having a good time. He's going to eat with his best pal Power, who he lost, and he just met Asa again, and Nayat is back to life.
What is he? We as a reader appreciate this because we know what happens after.
Well, there's also the implications that he will remember slight things and memories and feelings and stuff like that. Which is, again, very Steins
outwardly, that is like, this is the thing he is happy about. I don't see anything here where he's like smiling or is like.
Well, no, he's down. He's doing the Denji cool swagger walk, but I think he's happy.
Yeah, but why do you think that? You're saying it
because I think that, because that's the feeling I got from this chapter.
Okay, whatever, yeah.
Let's see this last panel where he's got a soft smile here and he's got a little eye patch on. Look at how happy he is. And he just blushed and he met a cool girl, and everything he's ever wanted is being introduced to him. He saw a girl playing video games, so that's within his reach. He's got his best pal Power back. He's got his boobs he's going to grab. The great Bucky is around. He just learnt that killing devils isn't a good thing, you know, so he's now woke, and he left his chainsaw in the shadow, literally, and that's the most important part. He's moving on.
True. He's no longer Chainsaw Man.
And that's why Denji's so happy. I am curious what the people would think about. Well, first of all, the people are probably just complaining about Reese not showing up. But if they have any opinion on this thematic stuff, it'll be fine. But, 25 viewers, Illyri, we're famous. Should we read chat before we go to Reddit, Illyri? Does that sound like a good idea?
Absolutely. Go ahead and read the chat.
So, I'm going to read a few, then you're going to read a few. So keep it up. I've been reading everything today. I didn't make you read a single freaking thing. So get ready. So Chainsaw Man having a mid-ending, I see. That was a chat. Oh, my goodness. That's not even where we were up to. I thought it was. He drops the chainsaw to save Asa, mind blown. True. Even Disney wouldn't give this kind of ending. Oh my goodness, Illyri. We don't all love this ending like you. This is not Fujimoto's ending. We've got some crying emojis. The people are not liking this, Illyri. Power and Nayata came back even though they both died. But why hasn't Aki come back? True, we hate Aki. Is it because Nayata has replaced Makima and therefore the Gun Devil didn't attack or anything? Did Makima make the Gun Devil attack? Yeah. I don't remember.
Well, my implication would be that it is like, there is the whole, it's tough because I don't know the timeline stuff, but there is going to be two things which are like theorized, right? There's the theory that like Chainsaw Man had his fight with the Four Horsemen, right before he met Denji. That's like one possibility. There is also the possibility that like the Gun Devil was involved in that specifically, right? Because of like the obviously it is the child of Yoro, right? But I don't know how it ties up with the Gun Devil attack like timeline. Like, how old was Denji and Aki at that point, and does that happen? Does the Gun Devil attack happen after that or before that? I don't remember enough, but maybe.
I don't remember these things either. And we're switching screens here, Illyri. So let's go. Oh my god, I have it up here. Look, this is the chat now people right now. We can stay on Viz Media here. And don't worry, Reddit is up, Illyri, so we can get ready for these things. But I think I scrolled up to where we were actually up to, There's a lot of chats, Illyri. I don't know if we're going to be able to read them all. So if you want to scour some interesting ones while I go from the top, Illyri, that might be a good idea, okay?
Holy. Wait, you on Reddit? You got a stream for me? My goodness, I don't see anything.
Oh, because of the thingy. Because last time Discord crashed, Illyri. I see. It was probably good that we weren't doing that in the meantime. We probably have a little bit more battery and a little bit more time. I'm sharing, Illyri. You find something interesting to read in chat, okay? Quick smart.
Chats. I'm not good at this. Chainsaw Man was truly the friends we made along the way. So Chainsaw Man having been no, we've read these already. Truly, we are Chainsaw Man. We'll always want more. Fujimoto is freaking Pochta. He had to rip Chainsaw Man away from us to enjoy. True.
The great
Well,
Pochita.
I don't even think he's that happy now. Oh my god, this person's
no,
a genius.
Silly person. We don't like this person.
Look at this. Ready? Well, I don't even think that he's happy now. He would give up all these dead people being back to Chainsaw Man, basically.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. That's a better argument than you, idiot Illyri. Blur says Puchita was the reading comprehension devil and eating himself translated into the real world through paths or something, themes and such. That makes sense, Illyri. Remember paths?
I do remember that.
Now I'm just scrolling through, seeing what I haven't read. Truly, we are Chainsaw Man. We will always want more. Oh, I think we already read that one, actually. Heath Elitari with his great shield. He's shielding us from the people. Well, I don't even think... Oh, that was the one you already read, Elitari, you stupid
Why are you reading
idiot.
all my comments?
You just chose Heath, you fucking... not an original thought in Elitari's head, my goodness. Good, but man, do we want more? I'm not sure. I read some of these ones too, Elitari. We all wanted more time with Chainsaw Man. Sadly, it isn't a choice we have, my goodness. I'm going to watch for only fight scenes, my goodness. I'm low-key scared of the other manga nearing their ends. True, Elitari. Mangas just don't have good endings. I'm scary only for ReZero, Elitari. That's your favorite anime. He's got so much more normal life now. True, but we didn't like a normal life. That was the whole point of my video, Elitari. Part 3, I'm in High Delulu. CeeLo says, look at how he's looking at us, bro. He's going back the next day. The great CeeLo backing me up here, Elitari. It isn't complete, honestly. Many things left to answer. True, Elitari. You made a video about that. Oh no, the family plot
that
twist
is
was
interesting.
for nothing.
I feel like this answered way more questions than I possibly thought it would. Like, I thought there would be way more loose ends, but right now, as I am standing, I don't have any loose ends on my end. Now, I'm sure there will be some things that people were more interested in that I wasn't. Obviously, like the Reese thing, but I have no interest in that. But like, if you go to my video that I made, where I was talking about all the like possible things for part 3 and like all the things that need to be answered, like if there is a part 3, all of it, like that's been done. Like I only had 2 things, and one was like the Return of the Control Devil and Return of the Blood Devil, and both those happened this chapter. And then the other things I had were like things where I'm like, I never thought this was particularly going to happen ever, and it's not very interesting. And that's like the Return of Kishibe and Reese and like stuff like that. So I feel like to me, everything is wrapped up. Even us, I got like a really good conclusion like 2 chapters ago with the Yoru stuff. So I'm curious what people think is like still open ended for like stuff they cared about. I'm sure there is stuff. I just it doesn't come to mind. Like I'm not sure what they're thinking of.
So the last chapter was like mostly about Denji, huh?
I don't think the last chapter was about any character. I think it's a thematic thing for Chainsaw Man. I think I
got a grin of correctness on my face right now.
Think what you want, but I think it's a thematic wrap-up.
Now, CeeLo, you got to go back and do your calculations and figure out which character was in more panels. And if it's Asa, don't report your findings. If it was Denji, do. Now, Elitari, I've never had to piss more in my life, and the bottom 4 chats still need to be read. So I'm going to be listening, Elitari, and you better read them and respond to them. Oh, my goodness. Okay, go ahead, Elitari.
All right, we got Trip, who says... Aki could be one of the seniors mentioned in the last panel, but the fact that he wasn't explicitly shown makes me think gun attack never happened and is chilling with his family. I agree with that. I think the thing that makes less sense is Asa being in high school. You'd assume it should be in middle school 2 years or 3 years. What? I don't even know what you're saying. Asa is being in high school still. You'd assume she'd be in middle school 2 years or 3 years. I don't know the lore of like what age she was and what part in high school. I have no idea, but okay, maybe. Reese served her purpose and had a great ending. No need to touch that. I'm so glad she wasn't shown. I'm more neutral on it. Like it would have been okay if she came back, but I agree that I don't need any more. What's upsetting to me is everyone lost their development. It depends. It's a perspective. I think to me the point is that like development isn't too like I think to me that I've made my case here I think pretty clearly that I think the point of Chainsaw Man is that like development isn't too important. It is more about living in the moment. But it's fair if you care about development, I guess. Kai will plug your charger. If only he had one, then he would, I'm sure. I'd rather die than count those again. True. Bro thinks Kyle uses the charger. True. My goodness. Now what? I guess I can go back.
Heath brought up a great point, Elitari. My goodness. But we could explain this by rewriting the world or something. Because Asa should be 2 years younger, right? Because we went back a year and a half or something. You did the timetable one time.
Is maybe a year, maybe it was like 3 months. I don't remember. But who cares? I don't know. It's like a
True, we rewrote the world, Elitari. So she moved up a grade to fit with Denji's happy ending, of course. That's the power of the great Puchida. And giving Denji his ultimate happy ending we've got here. But true, Elitari. Should we jump into the great Reddit?
Yeah, let's have a look. My goodness.
Okay, so where is it?
I know I'm going to get triggered.
Bingo card. Let's see how many we got. Asa and Yoru. Yoru wasn't in that chapter, Elitari. We love Yoru, though, actually. I'm not happy about that. Merge in some way. True, they still had to merge, Elitari. This chapter is focused on Yoru. Focused on Asa and Yoru. Get the fuck out of here. This timeline is messed up. Most things are still where they were. Kinda. Sequel announcement or implied? Kill yourself, idiot. Asa and Yoru are still together. Not true either. Lil D reflects on her plan. Bitch wasn't in the chapter. Some dead characters get revived. Booyah. Chapter title, I Love War. Incorrect. The story is cynical. Definitely not true.
Cyclical.
Oh, cyclical. Well, I guess that was kind of true. Yoru gives Asa her body back. Not true. Denji barely... Everybody's obsessed with this body thing, Alita. You get over it. Denji barely even shows up in the chapter. Kill yourself, Asa fans. Festival chapter? Nope. The manga is called Man now. Nope. Chainsaw still exists, stupid. Fumiko narration? She died. Yoru is different now that her motivation beat Chainsaw Man is gone. She's not around. Asa and or Yoru...
This is kind of crazy. They were really expecting a lot of Asa and Yoru for some reason.
Because she didn't get resolved 2 chapters ago, like you keep saying. Nobody remembers that. Asa and or Yoru find Denji in the shack. The new Control Devil shows up. She sure did. Denji dies. Incorrect. All the devils Pachita ate get unerased. Not true. Asa is freed from her narrative ties to Chainsaw Man. Nope. Well, I guess nope, because there's a new Chainsaw Man. Asa is a relatively normal girl now. Tick. The side character.
She was always probably the most normal character in this whole.
She had a demon inside of her, literally. The side characters Haruka, Miri, Fami, etc. show up. Get lost, loser. Miri Sugo, yeah, he was really showing up. Reese. The chapter is still focused on Denji, of course. Asa reflects on whether or not she wants to be selfish. Get lost. Some Asa still remember the old reality. True, and it wasn't Asa, you fucking idiots.
This is one of the worst bingo cards I've seen in my life. Impressively, sir.
The themes devil. Oh my goodness, we must have betrayed all of our themes.
Yep.
Where the fuck is the thingy? The real reason Kishibe left Nayata and Denji. Nobody cares. Where's the chapter release thingy? Do I have to refresh?
It's not even up. They gave up.
True. Keep on theming, Denji.
There it is.
Oh my god, they think it was a negative... Oh no, this is from 3 hours ago. Oh, we're going flat, Alita. This is so sad. 10 years at least. Am I fucking delusional, Alita? Where the fuck is this goddamn thread?
It's at the top. Go to the top.
Oh, here we go. Part 2 end? How about Chainsaw Man end? Oh my goodness, Alita. We love this great chapter.
Yep.
Oh, very bad, Alita.
That's okay. I'm happy with that.
It's pretty even,
That's less split than I thought it would be.
Even average is pretty even.
Well, no, I was going to say, like, there's more very good people than I would have expected. So people like it.
This could actually be ending, can it? There's going to be an announcement for Part 3 sometime. Definitely one of the endings ever made. I don't know what to feel. I'm still hoping that Fujimoto comes up with the next week's April Fool's card, otherwise... Oh my god, it's April Fool's next week, Aliri. This is freaking crazy.
Oh my god.
Fujimoto dropping the final chapter. He was just trolling, Aliri. Just doing a little bit of trolling. I've seen fics in fan fictions with less Disney writing.
Oh no.
It was so happy,
we heard the
Aliri.
Disney term again. You know what that means? There's like some famous tweet out there or some influencer who said Disney and everyone's saying Disney now.
It was Moist Critical, Aliri, your favorite guy. I don't mind this ending. Well, we don't want to hear positive ending things. I mean, it was rather obvious that Fujimoto was already done with Chainsaw Man. He just wanted to wrap it up ASAP, hence the lack of any substantial build-up and reasonable conclusion. I don't have any other way to explain it. I just hope that we'll see him come up with a new good story in the future. Me too.
Amen. Give us a one-shot. Give us the next Goodbye Eri. My goodness.
Goodbye Eri sucks. You need to make this thematic video you just went on a whole rant on, Alita. You'll be famous. Part 2 had a few highs and lots of whatevers. The best hope I could get is that Denji and Asa will be together and while humanity is forever doomed. What the fuck is this guy talking about? That's not what happened. Might have well been a dream. True, it was a dream.
That's right.
Best, Aliri, best.
Well, they're not going to be very good.
The end? No, it can't be. True. Asa got a happy ending. Yep. True. Bro. I want Power and Denji to survive and be happy. Nobody gives a fuck about Aki or what he wants.
Wait, they forgot the eye patch on one page? I missed that. My goodness.
You better go look, Aliri. Fuck it, dude. Let's go bowling. Oh, is this a Big Lebowski reference? I saw when I opened the Reddit like 3 hours ago that people were talking about the Big Lebowski a lot and how like they think Fujimoto's going to do that ending. So I don't know if this is like him actually doing that ending. I haven't seen that movie and I don't think Aliri has either.
I haven't either.
Pedo teacher still dies? Well, you were right, Aliri.
Yep.
Guys, you don't get it. Pachita just ate the Manga Plus devil. It must have been lagging. But that was 2 hours ago, so I don't know what the fuck this idiot's talking about. Oh my god, the chapter wasn't out 2 hours ago. Never mind. Truly was one of the endings of all time. I'm whelmed. The strongest fuck this manga I'm done in history versus the stronger fuck this manga I'm done of today.
True.
This is a joke, right? He ran away with everything, lol. Well, at least he had a great life, I guess, lol. He did. Let's go controversial, leader. We got a speedrun Reddit. I hope you're keeping an eye on if chat's saying anything good.
I looked at every single page of this chapter, and he has an eye patch in everyone, or it's like ambiguous as to like you can't tell or not. So it's like I don't think there's an error in this.
I wish I could say it's been an honor, but it really wasn't, says the auto mod. Oh no, artist made an art piece. Ew, I'm so... Oh my god, this is a defense one, Elitery.
Oh
the fuck is this? I know he wants to end the series absurdly like Big Lebowski, Elitery, but goddamn, it's ass. There's no fight or big fight or anything. True. It just feels flat.
Okay.
Well, whatever, at least it doesn't end like Fire Punch. That was the greatest ending of all time. Fire Punch still better than Chainsaw Man, but that's alright. Fucking peak and people cry like babies here. 10 out of 10. Hey, all you haters, that was pretty damn good. I love how many people are upset with this ending while I'm over here crying about how beautiful it was. Fujimoto is a genius. It went over so many heads. This ending sucked and Fujimoto should be fired. He obviously lost his source that made him write Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man Part 1. Anyone who thinks this ending is acceptable by any standards should be legally have to get a lobotomy or something. So low IQ,
Amen.
holy Christ.
All right, we got to pause. There's a bit of correction from the chat.
Go ahead.
Maxi Sniper said he has the second eye in page 3 bottom right, and they are correct. There is, I completely missed it. He has the eye patch on, but there is an eye under the eye patch. So it's like, I guess, yeah.
Don't worry, they'll fix it for the volume release, Elitery. I did see Fujimoto talked about how he saw a movie yesterday on Twitter, and I thought that was really funny. That he wasn't like freaking out or working on the chapter. So that's the great example. He didn't even draw the eye, Elitery. Denji, I'm going to eat myself now. Am I on the last week's? I am. Do they not have a new one up yet? What's going on, Elitery?
Maybe not. For Chainsaw Folk, they're just so lazy. They've fallen off. I don't know. They can't keep up with things.
Maybe they come later. Release party 2 hours ago. Oh my goodness, look at the great ratio we've got here.
Yep. The folk subreddits, they just love endings.
Hopefully lists all of you thank you when he's listing off a bunch of users. Naito will return in chapter. True, she was back. We were correct. And I guess time travel kind of happened to Elitery, so you get to be correct a little bit. That's also. Right. We're going back in time in Fujimoto's movie to get the Big Lebowski off the menu. It was the Big Lebowski, Elitery.
Maybe.
But that's how losers think. Should we watch that movie? It's a great comedy. You love comedies.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Either way, if it's less than 90 minutes, I'll watch it tomorrow or tonight or something. Either we're going to get a 1,000-page chapter or something. Well, this was from 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. Oh, damn, he really said fuck it Lamau, and he's got nearly 1,000 upvotes, Elitery. It's over, and he's hanging himself. True. The only thing I was hoping for was no part 3, Elitery, and I got it, so I should be happy. Strong return. Guys, what the fuck did I just read? He crashed Manga Plus Lamau. Who's reading on Manga Plus? What a bunch of losers. The end? Question mark. I thought I was reading a fanfic, to be honest. True, Elitery. I am at a standstill. I wanted Denji to have a happy ending, but this just feels so rushed and unnatural. I don't know what to think. I, too, just wanted Denji to have a happy ending, and I'm glad I got it, Elitery. Controversial.
Right. All right, let me read some chats. We've got... the problem with the ending is that it makes other parts of the story feel hollow. It says exempt Andromeda.
Possibly, Elitery. They didn't resolve those plots.
Yep. Trip says Fujimoto is going to tweet about how he ate ice cream today and he recommends it. True. That is the most Fujimoto thing ever.
Heath says, man, I really got tricked into watching a chapter review just because you're live. Yes, Heath, you fucking idiot. You better review. 36 live viewers, Elitery. We're famous.
Yep.
Were you reading another one?
All right. Fujimoto stated his influence for part 2 was the Big Lebowski and how the whole movie felt pointless since everything just went to be how things were, but the protagonist ended the story with development, so something was still gained from that story. Well, I'm trying to think. Like, there is a whole element of there is the third last chapter is a completely different story than like the last two, right? So it's like you get a big build up, a big like sudden ending, and then you get like a kind of epilogue which is different. I haven't seen the Big Lebowski, so I can't really comment on it, but I kind of see, like, I can kind of see what he's going for, I guess.
Oh my god, we get to add Chainsaw Man to our media checklist.
It is true. Me as a person, I don't really... Development is not a thing that I value much. Like, it is a thing that can be good sometimes, but it's not inherently something that's required in a story. So at no point did I think like, oh, Denji, like I don't like him because he doesn't develop. I like Denji for who he is, and development isn't really a big part of him. So that's my piece on that.
Aliri,
Yes,
you might talk
continue,
about
Gabriel.
my opinion. You said something that kind of sounded like the name Mir, so this is a very funny pivot here, because Heath is telling us to look at our great friend Mir's tweets about the matter, and oh my goodness, I just read it, and you're going to think this is very funny, Aliri. Seems safe to say now that the end of Chainsaw Man, that this is the end of Chainsaw Man as a whole. I love part 2 and trusted the process all the way through, but now that it's done, I can't help but feel like it ended because Fujimoto wanted to move on, not because it was a completed a narrative arc.
Mir, what are you doing? Oh my god. All right.
Hold on, we've got more. I will still defend part 2.
ahead.
Asuka is an incredibly strong deuteragonist. Wrong. She's not even a protagonist. She sucks
answer,
Leary,
yeah.
and she's like a third and dairy character. With some of Fujimoto's best character writing, the early stages of part 2 followed her, and bringing her and Denji together is my favorite chapters of the story. I did not see part 2 as a waste, but over time it has started to feel like Fujimoto was not really in it anymore, and the way things wrapped up solidified that for me. There were great ideas, and we're doing a debate tomorrow night, Elita versus It's Me. Oh my goodness, everybody be back. I want another 30 viewers. And a consistent through line, but ultimately it feels like the plan was to pull this ending out when he felt like it. It makes a lot of...
just to say, I don't know, I completely disagree with all this. I think it is a very clear thematic like resolution. I think I've argued this to death at this point, but no one's going to agree with me, I guess.
I mean, it is kind of a crazy reading, because obviously nobody knows what Fujimoto wants or if he's tired, and I feel like the people are just like, he's tired because they didn't like the ending, but it's okay. It makes a lot of major dramatic consequences of part 2 feel minimized. Like the only plan was to make a big mess, and that these characters... of these characters in this world, as long as it was fun, then put it all away nicely when it stopped being fun. It could have happened any time. Considering every other Fujimoto ending I've read, this does feel like the least impactful one. When Fujimoto makes a big mess like this, I usually expect him to leave the reader sitting in it. Instead, this feels more like a standard reward for sticking it out to the end. I would like to do a reread in the near future to see how this all feels in one go. I just did one, Aliri. I'm not doing another one. You and Mia can do it. I do not think the serialized format does this story any favors with the frequent breaks and short chapters. Until then, though, I'd say I'm satisfied with leaving things here, and I'm glad I'm read it. Oh my god, what a happy ending at the end. Jockey Bacon!
It is an interesting perspective. I think Mia has a very, like, at least if I'm reading the tweets correctly, Mia has a very positive reading on the ending like you do, where it's like, oh, this is like a happy ending. I just don't have that at all.
Everybody's had that reading, Alita.
It's interesting. I wouldn't have thought that.
Alita is not one to buckle under democracy, so, you know, that's not the own I think it is. But Alita, you know, we don't got too much time left. How much time do we got left? 17%?
Not long.
We got a little bit of chatting to catch up on, maybe?
Read the chat, yeah.
Heath, who has a shield, so we have to read Heath's first. I saw an interesting tweet that chainsaws still exist, and people know what Chainsaw Man's are, despite Pachita eating the Chainsaw Devil himself. Duh. We already talked about that.
Jesus.
Right, Alita? But also, Pachita ate himself, so that means the erasing effect never existed either, or something. So even if he was the Chainsaw Man Devil, the chainsaws came back or something. I don't know. Yeah. One part 2 fan versus 20 part 2 haters debate, Alita. You can sit in the seat. I don't want to, okay? I'll be the referee.
Oh, I will proudly. You know what? I can proudly defend part 2, okay? I think that is, of all the endings that I have, the Attack on Titan one I can defend as well, but that one's a bit tougher. This one is an easy defense. I can defend part 2. My goodness.
As its own, Chainsaw Man's ending is bittersweet, but if he was aiming for the development theme, the Big Lebowski ending, it does kind of miss the mark in that aspect, you know. Well, again, we don't know anything about the Big Lebowski. Although I do think everyone is too hard stuck on the idea of comparing the themes to Big Lebowski instead of just appreciating the ending on its own. My goodness, Leary. Honestly, it feels like the only way to give Denji a happy life is to make him a side character in the story. His desire to be Chainsaw Man, human/devil hybrid, is incompatible with human emotions. Maybe.
That's a funny idea.
The last chapter doesn't make any sense. I actually believe Denji just died and all this is not real and was made for fan service. True.
It is a valid reading. You could have that if you want. Like, to be honest. He doesn't wake up from a dream. It is very fan servicey,
all this happiness at the end, Alita, that you don't even believe in.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we're getting made fun of here, Alita. Dude, you didn't like the ending. You're so illiterate, such a dumbass. Live stream. That's you, Alita. I didn't say that.
That is, you know what, they are making fun of me. But
Mhm.
go ahead, Maxi Sniper. What don't you like about the ending? Please let me know.
He probably already said, and we skipped his chat, Leary. I read the
Well, I'm
trap did trust me,
scrolling
Joe.
off.
Oh my god. Peak. Everybody's liking Peak. Oh my god, we got essays here. I do kind of want to check
True.
Twitter, but I haven't been policing my Twitter enough to be confident. Whoa! Never mind, Leary. If there's pornography, it would get censored because we live in the great state of Australia, right? Also, I don't know if I want everybody seeing all the football tweets or whatever. What if something weird comes up? I can't be doing these things. I could go on my phone or something. There's no way this is still up. No, thank God. I get tricked by this every live stream where it lags behind and I'm like, oh no. The start streaming soon thing is still up, but oh my goodness.
Yep.
Heath's saying something. Something having 2 parts just feels so ugly, even if only 10 chapters Fujimoto should make a part 3. The rule of 3s, Leary.
It would be fun. I'm sure, like, there is a chance Change Bank will come back one day, right?
Oh my god,
Why
Leary,
not?
this one is for you. It leaves too much unresolved. Why do characters like Famine Devil exist?
Well, I would say it's going to be a whole philosophical grounding of, like, does a character need to have a resolution? Like, do we care that, like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna argue this point. If you think, like, if you are really invested in the Famine Devil storyline and were, like, invested in waiting to see the ending of that character, I don't blame you. Like, yeah, this isn't an ending that I would say you would like. To me, I would say that, like, the Famine Devil served her purpose of having, like, a funny introduction, having very brief, like, cameo moments and stuff. But overall, she wasn't too significant to the plot, and, like, I didn't really get invested too much in her. But if you did, then props to you, I guess. You can be sad about it, I guess. But sadly, I didn't really get invested in it. Yeah, like, to me, like, there were really 2 characters. It was Asa and Denji. Those are the 2 that I was the most interested in. There were things like Fumiko as well, but I feel like Fumiko got a decent resolution where I'm happy with it. It is all about emphasis. Like, people reading stories will choose to emphasize certain things that they like, right? And to me, like, things like Reese, things like Kishibe, things like the Famine Devil, these don't really matter to me, right? But they would to a lot of people. So I don't blame you if you like those characters, but I just don't agree with you.
What a tepid defense, Leary. Embarrassing.
True.
I'm scrolling Twitter, Leary. I said there's a tweet that says, close enough. Welcome back, Neon Genesis Evangelion episode 26.
Lovely.
Oh my god. It's a freaking deconstruction, man. Fujimoto is criticizing the hero's journey and satirizing Battle Shonen. Denji's just not going to power up and beat the devils. And I don't know if this seems like a tweet that's making fun of people.
What are you reading?
My Twitter that I don't have up. So,
Oh, okay.
So what was the point of part 2? 5k likes. I mean, this seriously Chainsaw ending might be the closest anybody's come to doing Evangelion TV 26 again. That's another tweet, Leary. Apparently this is like Ava 26. I don't know how, but I guess. This is where you inform us of how, Leary.
Interesting comments. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Read our chat. Fuck the tweets.
We have one from Tosokot, and he says, "This is such a depressing ending. I've never seen Denji this miserable, and it just ends like, what's the point of any of this of his character growth if it all got undone and he's right back to boobies, man?" It is interesting because he is, like, back to that position.
We're all back to that position every day, Elitary.
Yeah, like, to me, it is like, yeah, I don't know how I need to think of a way to, like, convince people. I'm sure I'll probably make a video about it.
It is funny because your conclusion does much more fit with my video I made. But,
yeah,
I'm happy right now.
Like, I think to me, it is the point is to be a kind of a depressing ending a little bit. Like, it's meant to be more neutral. I don't think there's really
well, my take on the hedonism thing has always been that it's not that depressing because Chainsaw Man's, like, funny about it.
Well, it's kind of neutral, but, like, it's kind of also a little bit sad, I would say. Like, I don't think it's not a bad ending, like a sad ending or whatever, but maybe. I don't know. It's an interesting point, Tossagod. Okay, I'll give you that. And what else is there? Oops. Oh, I don't even know. I scrolled down. There's like a million chats now. I love that Denji gets a happy ending and the return of favorite characters. My only problem is that it just feels all too convenient. We can argue pacing and plot holes all day, but my only criticism.
Convenience, Leary. Jockey Bacon showed up.
Maybe. It is interesting because it does seem like, am I going to be the only person who thinks it has, like, a neutral?
Well, didn't you just read one about a depressing ending? So calm down a little.
Yeah, but it is for a very different reason, I think. I don't know. Fujimoto will make the end of Chainsaw Man movie and everyone will love Chainsaw Man again. That is true.
True.
Mappa will do it again.
I do
We
see
love
one
Mappa.
here that says it's not even comparable to Ava's ending, though. At least Shinji actually learned from something and grew it, unlike Genji. Now, I don't know if we've got new viewers here, but on my main channel, the Kyle Entertainment channel, I made like a 50-minute video about how the whole point of Chainsaw Man and Denji is that he never develops or anything like that. So I think this is like extremely opposite of Evangelion episode 26, but I think that's absolutely the point. So it's definitely not like that, I don't think. That episode has the thing where we go into a different story for a second, where everybody's in a slightly different position that would probably make Shinji happy. So that's kind of a parallel or whatever. But outside of that, I'm not too sure. Oh my god, Heath is saying something. I think it's a sad ending. Denji getting his life rewritten and losing Vegeta is a lot. True, Elitery.
That's
but
another perspective.
If you don't know what you've got until it's gone, except the opposite. You don't know that it's gone if you don't got it.
That's kind of my point, which is that it's like life is full of like missed opportunities and also like exciting things that can happen, and like it is, yeah, that's kind of the point to me. Where it is like he doesn't know what he missed without Pochta, but like he lives his life anyway, and it is kind of similar. Also, we've got Maxi Snipers answered. I think I asked, that was the person I asked, like, what do you not like about it, right?
I think so.
They said, I wanted more law of Devil's nature. What is hell? What were hybrids originally? What is Pochta? What was Lil D's plan, etc.? It's not a bad ending, but it's the manga with the most unanswered questions I've ever read. I think I would... it is interesting, because I probably agree that we don't have any answers to those, and I think they would be fascinating answers. I just, like, when I'm reading, I guess I wasn't expecting answers from stuff like that, because Chainsaw Man has very rarely given answers to those things. Like those are all open-ended questions that have been open-ended since the beginning, and there's like we never even got hints at like what the answers are. I agree where it's like, man, I would have loved those answers, but it feels like to me where I'm like I don't feel like I needed them. But I would like them. Like if there was another chapter and it was just explaining all that, I'd like it. But I don't really need it to be like a satisfying ending, I guess. But so yeah, fair enough, Maxi Sniper.
This is also a great opportunity for you to shill your unresolved thingy video on your ordinary RE channel, Elitery. How about you do that instead, you stupid idiot? But also, we have 7% battery left, Elitery, so we have to sign off now. Now, you're probably going to definitely say no to this, Elitery, but you could keep streaming on your channel if you wanted to right now, but I think you got to go to sleep.
No, I got to sleep.
Yeah, Elitery's got a real job. What a fucking loser. But but we got to end things now because we're going flat over here.
Yep.
We could do a follow-up to this. Maybe I'll see some tweets. I'll think about things more. There's always that possibility. You know, I'm sure we've not talked about this for the last time. But everybody stick around. Yep. Subscribe if you care. I don't know. Maybe don't, because there's probably going to be like one more Chainsaw Man video, then we're all going to run away. But yeah.
Yeah, everyone in the chat, give us suggestions. What's the next manga? What should we cover?
True, I'm pitching for Kagurabachi, especially since part 3 doesn't seem to be coming, and that seems to be the best answer. But we probably won't be able to read them in the chat right now. But, you know, you can always leave them as a comment underneath the video or under the stream after it's done, stuff like that. Anything else to say, Elitery? This is the end of Chainsaw Man.
That is true. You know what? It is my favorite manga. I'm glad it had a good ending.
What a terrible favorite manga. It's like maybe the 5th best manga. We didn't really talk about Devilman at all, but it's not very Devilman in its ending at all, Elitery, which is kind of funny. True. Heath is telling us to do Tokyo Ghoul. That's a good shout. I want to do Tokyo Ghoul at some point, but we'll see. Anyway, we got to end this goddamn video the way we've ended all of them, Elitery, you know, because it just has to be the same. So, you say a word that I say a word, okay?
How are we going to do this? This is too tough.
Say support. You fucked it up, Elitery. Support links.